It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. This is Paul from Idaho. Just wondering, when are you going on Gavin Newsom's new podcast? All right, get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I have not gotten the invite yet, and I don't suspect I will, but who knows?
I think you will.
All right. Well, we shall
Fingers
see.
crossed.
All right. News.
Mayor Bass, her election opponent, says recall effort against her is not a good idea. The Los Angeles businessman who ran against Karen Bass in the 2022 election announced his opposition Tuesday to the recall effort to unseat her as the city's mayor.
That's Rick Caruso.
Real estate magnate, former mayoral candidate Rick Caruso released a statement about the recall effort, calling it a costly political distraction in the aftermath of January's deadly wildfires.
It's always funny what we have to do in LA is we're so blue that Rick Caruso has to run as a Democrat. But then people like my mom is like, he's not a real Democrat, like, because he's smart and wants to do shit and is efficient. We need someone. Yeah, that he's pretending to be dumb, but he's not really dumb. Like, he's not really feckless and dumb like Karen Bass. He's a smart guy pretending to be dumb, so I'll vote for him. Well, it's not going to work.
Yes, he's using the retarded filter.
Yeah, he's using the retarded filter. So we went, I know we only vote for Democrats, but that guy, he builds stuff and makes payrolls and is smart and effective. Don't give me that Democrat bullshit. I know a Democrat when I see one, and that's her. Where's our plane ticket to Ghana, by the way? We got to celebrate. Like he would never go to Ghana and put on ceremonial garb during a windstorm. That's us, baby. So don't let it fool you. He's not real.
How cool and smooth is it of him to like say, no. Let's rebuild L.A. And then, it kind of really makes him look good.
But if they do a recall of her, is it him or is it just some other ditzy broad who's going to be
no one on the ballot? It's just we vote for a recall and then we go to the election.
It's
so Rick Caruso kind of has a point. Something I think we have his video. You should listen to his explanation.
Is somebody the front runner? Because he said he's not doing it again.
He hasn't said. Well, also you got to think there's a governor race in California in 2026. Yeah. Why wouldn't Rick Caruso want to be the fucking governor of California? Not
because. Kamala Harris is a retarded woman of color, and that's who we want to govern us, versus a non-retarded white guy who would do a good job.
Boring.
But by the way, we don't look like heroes. Electing a white guy who's good.
It's funny. When I first saw this headline, I'll see if I can find the exact headline, but it was the Los Angeles Times, and they couched the headline as if Rick Caruso was supporting Karen Bass.
Yeah. In a backhanded way. No, he's supporting Los Angeles. He's not supporting Karen Bass. I respect that.
Another thing I heard Randy Wang on KABC say is that if she's under a recall while in office, she can use city funds to defend herself and thus double dip where Perfect. So it's like, okay, Caruso, stop being smart, but I agree with him.
All right. And he's also saying by the time we get all up in this, we'll be at the next...
We'll be voting anyway.
We'll be voting anyway. All right.
But everyone wants a pound of flesh, and I understand that. And everyone,
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get her out. But
all right. What else you got, man?
All right. Look, in horrific news, a grandmother mauled to death by pit bulls that were high on cocaine.
No.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit. An Ohio grandmother was mauled to death by her neighbor's pit bulls, which were later found to be high on cocaine, according to the lawsuit. This story is just maddening.
This sounds like a perfect sequel to the movie Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, no, the dogs got high on coke and got out before, and they caught him and gave him back, and they were in the process of getting rid of this guy's pit bulls, and they once again got into the coke stash and mauled this lady who was just minding her own business and working in the community garden.
The community garden.
Yeah. Her disabled husband watched as this happened.
I was sure it wasn't a filter. He's like, he just didn't want to help. He just was like, I can't. I can't help.
The disabled husband, I guess. Well, first off, what's he even doing? Like, I'm going to watch you till soil while I sit here. Like, it's kind of a weird thing for a disabled person to watch somebody do.
Well, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure he wasn't watching her garden. I think he came out as the dogs were mauling the lady, kind of helpless to do anything.
Man.
He should have created a diversion. He should have come out with some meat.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, over here, you know.
Heroin or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Bullsers.
the guy's son, oh man, the woman's son, that woman's son, Bill Rogers says, how do you not look at them as the villain responsible for killing your mom about the dogs? I don't know, man. This one gets me fired up. My mom likes the garden. If somebody's man, they would not make it to the prison. You know what I mean?
And pit bulls are kind of bad
your
enough.
mom together
my mom,
while gardening.
nothing could stop me from getting this
Well,
guy.
we've established that your mom was a sandwich maker.
Yes.
Whereas I
was
don't.
a saint.
I don't
He's
have
the
as strong of feelings about saving my mom from pit bulls. 'Cause she's not a sandwich. She was not a sandwich maker.
You'd smear the meat
You
on
have
her?
to ask yourself: was your mom a sandwich maker? If the answer is yes, then there was love. There was great love. Was your mom a sandwich maker?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jellies, but she did make sandwiches.
The act of sandwich making is the act of love. I've really been thinking about it.
Wow.
It's like you take time, you get things out, you sort
Yeah.
of lay it out, and it's all spreading the love around. You know what I mean? It's
So your
not just
mom
spreading the
didn't-
creamy Jif. It's spreading the love.
Your mom didn't make you sandwiches?
Well, there were sandwich issues at my house.
Really?
Yeah, because sandwiches would require sliced bread and not 14 grain unsprouted whole wheat hippie bread.
Oh, okay.
Whole wheat hippie bread doesn't work. And when you so if you take Wonder Bread, you take white bread, and then you take this sort of processed Peter Pan peanut butter or Skippy
Yeah.
smooth, you just take that shit out and it just glides like a Zamboni right over the top of that shit. Okay. If you take 17 grain unsprouted whole wheat bread and lay that shit,
It's rocky.
first off, good luck even getting it to sit flat. It does what it wants, you know? And then you get the unblanched, unsalted, raw health food peanut butter
mix
with
it
no
up.
stabilizers in it. It's got its oil slick at the top.
Yep.
You take that shit and you try to rub it on that bread, it rolls over the top of it and eventually turns into a wheel, and it just sucks up gravel. Then you get to the end, and then you have to treat it like silly putty on the funny pages. You have to spread it out,
With
like,
your
try
hands.
to press it down. You know, it's like putting a toupee on or something. Like stick it down, and then there's no Smucker's grape jelly because all that is corn syrup and purple dye number 14. You got honey.
Oh, no.
And the honey ain't the squeeze bear. No squeeze bear. That's plastic. It's a jar of honey.
yeah.
So now you got to take the fucking knife out and try to spread the honey over the top of the 14 grain, and then you bite in it, and the fucking bread falls apart, and everything drips. The honey,
Dry ass mouth.
no air conditioning in the house. San
No air
Fernando Valley, 108 degrees outside. The fucking honey's drip. It's liquefied. It's dripping
Oh, my
everywhere.
God.
No sandwich. All right, good. That's peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Well, what about
Cold cuts.
What about ham?
Yeah.
What about cold? Meat is murder, bro.
Oh, no.
You think you're going to have a bunch of fucking Oscar Mayer cold cuts and pre-sliced cheese and
Well,
shit with
bologna.
fucking mayonnaise? No. That's
Damn.
meat is murder. You know, and also cold cuts, I mean, they're kind of ubiquitous now. But cold cuts were a big ticket item back then. That wasn't cheap. You had to go to the fucking deli and get the guy to slice the provolone and slice the smoked ham. No fucking way. There's no way that was happening. They didn't even really. They sold like bologna, which my mom would have never done because that's the man, processed and everything else. So now you've eliminated turkey, you've eliminated ham. You have a kind of place saver peanut butter, but not really. It's not. You guys don't know what it's like to eat a health food peanut butter
I've
sandwich.
had that.
That's the
yeah.
fuck. And by the way, as soon as you bite it, it welds to the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
Spend the whole fuck. You have one bite. 20 minutes later, you're still chewing it like cud. You're just 14 grain bread. You got your fucking finger
Got
out.
the
You're trying
seeds
to
everywhere.
peeling it off the top of your mouth. It is not the peanut butter sandwich you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
Wow.
So there's no sandwich.
But you grew up in such a healthy house, it sounds like.
No.
The problem is then you get an unhealthy appetite for the good stuff when you leave the house. You know what I mean? That's where the problem comes in. But look, let's not make it about me.
I should have brought you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ooh.
You know what I argue about? I think I wrote about it in one of my books, but it's really the only sandwich that gets better with time. Like,
yes,
you could make it at 7 a.m. and put it in your bag and go to school. And at noon, it's better.
Yeah, even if it's mush,
other
you sit on
sandwiches
it.
decline over that.
Yes.
These actually, the oil emulsifies with the bread a little bit.
It becomes one.
Yeah.
You're right.
But not this sandwich, not the health food one. The health food one you can't even transport. It's too heavy.
No,
Can't move it.
Yeah,
And it falls apart. You know, Wonder Bread's a little chewy, like got a little doughiness in it. The 17-grain sprouted shit, it just fucking falls apart.
The Ezekiel bread, I've had it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And the peanut butter doesn't keep it bound together. That just rolls. It's a shit show.
It falls off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In ice cream news, Ben & Jerry's is accusing its parent company, Unilever, of breaching its merger agreement by ousting the ice cream company's CEO for the brand's repeated public comments on progressive issues, removing its chief executive without the board's approval. So
Ben & Jerry's is so woke and so progressive. It's so
unfortunate.
weird.
Yeah, I haven't bought from them in years.
Oh, really?
No, it's just they've been woke for quite some time now, and it's like, thank God for Haagen. I was like, if Haagen-Dazs pulls this shit, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So it's really like one company was pro-choice, Ben & Jerry's, and then one company built ovens that Jews were put in World War II. Right. And Chrissy's like, I'm going with the Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs sounds like a camp in Poland, doesn't it?
Know.
My great-grandfather was rounded up and taken to Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
And he's put on a cattle train and he was taken straight to Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs camp.
Yeah,
Spent the whole war there.
My grandpa almost died at Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
He fell off the guard tower.
My great uncle helped liberate Haagen-Dazs in 1944.
When we rolled over Haagen-Dazs, Hitler was running.
I really am German. My dad's side is German, and my dad's dad was a German soldier. And I was like, was grandfather a Nazi, Dad? And he was telling me, like, well, the Nazis were the top of the top. Like, they were the alpha, like, best. And, grandfather was, like, not. But he was, I don't know. He might have been who knows? He was probably Nazi adjacent. He was.
It's kind of a good thing. Like, I wasn't smart enough to be a Nazi. Mm-hmm. Like, where you go, oh, you're doing that. It's kind of like people have a defense where they go sometimes like, I didn't know the guy couldn't operate a tractor. It's like, you should have known I was stupid and too stupid to drive a tractor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like when you're claiming it, you know?
Yeah.
But, where is Haagen-Dazs out of?
Yeah, it's
gotta
definitely
be
a German word. No,
It's probably an American company.
Oh, it is now, but it started as something. It had to start as
the
something.
Nazis would eat ice cream after they, killed Jews.
Oh my God!
It's invented by Ruben Mattis, the founder of the brand. Danish. Tribute to Denmark's treatment of Jews during World War II. What? No way. Hold on. Let me read this again. The name Haagen-Dazs was invented by Ruben Mattis, the founder of the brand, the founder of the brand, to sound Danish as a tribute to Denmark's treatment of Jews during World War II. Though it's a made-up word. Hold on a second, I'm trying to read here. Though it's a made-up word with no real meaning in Danish, founded in 1960 by Ruben and Mattis in the Bronx,
Wow.
New York, with the goal of creating high-quality ice cream. So they're in the Bronx, and no one wants to have it named after something cool. So they made up the word Haagen-Dazs.
Wow.
Like Yabba Dabba.
But where the hell did the Jews part come in?
I really didn't know Jews were part of this origin story.
I told
So
you
now
were
are you
supporting
for or
it.
against
Now I'm even more
Haagen-Dazs?
for it.
Well, it's interesting you say that because Ben & Jerry's initial lawsuit filed in November 2024 alleged Unilever silenced its attempts to publicly support Palestinian refugees and resolutions to end military aid to Israel, where the company had done business since 1987.
I just feel like people who make ice cream should make ice cream, and people who make cars should make cars, and students should just be students and go to fucking college. Like, just everyone shut up. All this. By the way, I don't want Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's announcing who they support, and I don't want you telling me you're bisexual. Just go about your fucking business. Just go about. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Just show up, be a student, work here, buy that, and shut the fuck up. That's all.
That's how it used to be.
That's how it used to be. Ruben and Rose Matas were Polish Jewish entrepreneurs who founded the Haagen-Dazs ice cream business in the United States. There is some sort of Holocaust connection, evidently. I thought I made that up.
I thought so too.
All right. What else we got?
We got another story. You know, the Gorilla, Stephen Gorillo from the Howard Stern Show wrote a book. And his big thing is Howard Stern made a political U-turn to please A-list pals.
Oh, wait. Grillo? Was it
Sounds
Steve
familiar.
Grillo?
Yeah, Gorilla. Remember, he was an intern on the Howard Stern Show before you took it over. The guy was like, he just really bagged on him a lot. He said that once he got the job, it became a nightmare with him being egged on into humiliating himself, but gave him a taste of fame.
Right. So he wrote a book, and he said what in the book?
He said he never wanted to be on the air, but Howard Stern kind of pulled him on there as an intern. Said the place was a snake pit. You never knew when you were going to get set up.
Wow.
Yeah, he was always a nervous wreck, and it got worse when they brought me on the show. I have Robin Quivers cackling in my ear, and somebody would be throwing balls of paper in my face. Then I would have Howard staring at me, his piercing blue eyes darting all over the place, trying to make me look worse than I already did.
Yeah, but he says
that, he definitely got George Pataki, elected governor of New York, and he was a big Rudy Giuliani supporter. And
but
he says it's gross to see what he's turned into. I think it's quite pathetic, to be honest.
Well, okay, so listen, I've told people this 100 million times when they sort of go, what's going on with all these Hollywood folks? If you make an announcement, you don't have to make an announcement. Your politics, if they don't align with their politics, then they won't come on your show. That's sort of their steadfast rule. That's how they do it. They've done it. They've always done it that way. And I don't know why. I don't get why that needs to happen, but that's the rule. So if you are doing a show and you announce, let's just say, I'll take somebody I don't know well, but let's just say Jimmy Fallon announced that he was voting for Trump. Now, Jimmy Fallon may have very well voted for Trump. I know somebody voted for Trump because it's the fucking president. But let's just say Jimmy Fallon announced he voted for Trump. Then he would his guest bookings would immediately dry up.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is he'd have a meeting after the show, and he'd say, is Clooney coming on Monday? And they'd go, no, Kevin Sorbo's coming on Monday. And they go, what happened? And they go, Clooney dropped out. And then they go, oh, but is Matt Damon coming on Tuesday? And they'd go, no, you remember Chachi? Remember Scott Baio? Yeah, he's filling in. And then he'd go, wait a minute, what happened to I thought, wasn't Jane Fonda coming in on Friday? No, the chick that got thrown off the Disney, the UFC fighter. What's her name? She's what's her name? Come on, you fought UFC.
I trained with her. And
Riley Gaines is a swimmer.
Yeah.
Oh, she's Thursday.
Yeah. What about the My Pillow guy?
Oh, Mike Lindell?
Yeah.
Remember I told you Jamie Foxx is coming in on? No, we got Mike Lindell.
Oh.
He's a last-minute replacement. Yeah, so that's
Rock.
next week. We're doing a whole Kid Rock week.
Ooh.
That'll be the week. The week after that is the Kid Rock.
He's going to be in studio and musical guest. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the new bookings. So if you'd like to be in with the Hollywood crowd, and Stern was the king of all media, but never got those people on his show.
Yeah.
So you must be more accommodating to those people. Now, I would like to live in a world where no one gave a shit and they just come on your show regardless. But those days are gone, and Trump ended them.
I don't know. I think it's coming back. I think the fact that a lot of right-wing personalities are like becoming well established, and in that sphere, people kind of have to get both sides of the eyeballs. What do you care if your movie, you know what I mean? It goes to right-wing or left-wing dollars.
Here's the thing. If the numbers are so overwhelming, if you're going on a late night show that gets 900,000 views, or Joe Rogan that gets 21 million views, then at some point commerce kicks in and you go, I'm going to go. But that's with shows that have lots and lots of eyeballs. In a world where everything's sort of in the middle somewhere, then those shows shall be boycotted. So that's how it goes. So Stern changed his politics and then changed his bookings, and that's why he's talking to Jane Fonda and the like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Who's a horrible person, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the worst.
It'll be interesting to see what happens after Trump, because even though Trump overwhelmingly, he's in office, most people wanted him there. It's still maybe a little bit the stink of the first term, and a lot of people still have that lingering TDS. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's just gone.
I know, and they can get it back, because I tell people all the time, look at the car company, Audi. Audi's been around. Audi's been around since Auto Union is what they were, and they were around in the 30s and stuff. But the point is if somebody said to me in 1986, I want to buy an Audi, I'd go, don't do it. They're junky cars. They're not reliable cars. Get something from Japan or anything. Get a Mercedes, but don't get an Audi. And if you said to me today or at some point in 1999 when they repaired their stuff, they got their shit together. In other words, like if somebody said to me, I have an Audi today. I drive an Audi. It's an electric Audi. I have an Audi. It's a good car. I'm not holding 1986 against Audi.
Right.
Audi turned it around, started making quality product, and people looked around and went, okay, I'll do that. CNN could do that. The LA Times is trying to do it. Like Fauci, I don't know. It's too late for him. He's
that
dead.
Might be a tough one.
Okay, enough one. But Sanjay Gupta, turn it around.
Yeah.
Just turn it around. People buy you like they'll buy an Audi now.
Yeah, and watching Sanjay and Cuomo kind of cop to stuff, that helps a little bit, but they still misled us. And we have to remember that.
Yeah. And then my 18-year-old son doesn't know a world that doesn't have a great Audi brand in it. Like you said to my son, he doesn't remember there was a shitty Audi. And anyone can do that on a company-wide level or an individual
And I think there's something about our generation that we don't care. We just want the information. We don't care where it comes from, which side, right, left, whatever. Just give us the information. Let us make up our minds. And we're only ideological to the extent that it's practical. If it works. If it doesn't work, then why are we espousing this stuff?
So you visited Dennis Prager recently.
I did.
Who's had a bad fall and had a very severe injury and lost the use of his legs and his arms.
Yeah.
Pretty much neck down.
Yeah.
And last time I visited him, which was too long ago, and I feel bad, he was... we were communicating via him pointing
the
a
laser pointer thing, right?
With his ear.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that too.
at a board with letters on it, and he was kind of shaking. I was saying, "Who are you talking?" And he's like, "No, you know, yeah, it's tough."
No, this is of all the things to ask him, right? I'm like at 2 a.m. when you have to scratch you got an itch here. What do you do? It's got to drive you crazy.
Itch on your forehead.
Oh my goodness! And there's no nurses around at 2 a.m. And he said it goes on for 2 minutes. He said after 2 minutes the itch goes away.
Really?
But those 2 minutes are living hell.
I have never thought about the concept of not having the use of my arms and having an itchy forehead.
That's all I thought about when I hung out with him.
So how is he more recently?
Yeah, I went around the time you did for the laser pointer part, and it was brutal. Because he's a communicator. This is what he does. This is his passion, and to be doing a laser pointer at words. It's just when I got there recently, he's fine. He's talking. He wants to get back on the radio. He's ready. He wants to start in April, but I think it's going to be June. He'll come back for an hour a day in June. But the guy wants to go 2 hours, but they're kind of holding him back a little bit. But he's ready.
And the use of the limbs.
Nobody knows. Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Not coming back as
it can. It can. Yeah.
He broke his neck. Is that? I mean, this is serious.
Yeah. He had a fall. Hit his head in the back of in the shower on the back of the bathtub, I believe it was.
What I'm asking is, if he didn't break his neck, there's a possibility that if everything's intact, it could come back.
I think it's possible. Yeah. I think his son, if I recall correctly, his son or grandson, that had the same thing happen to him 25 years ago and came back.
Oh, okay.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
So we just got to hope for the best.
Listen, if we can hear his voice, that's a mitzvah.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's really, you don't need him to move furniture at this stage.
And by the way, Adam,
you need the voice.
this is an announcement. I guess he wants to do No Safe Spaces too.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm just warning you that he may do it from wherever he's sitting, but he wants to do it. He wants to take that lap. And when you think about it, when we made that movie, I thought maybe in 20 years this would happen. I didn't think it would happen in 2 years.
Right.
That people would take over the New York Times after graduating from college 6 months earlier, or the LA Times, or all these institutions. And yet now there's a pushback. So it's an interesting. I think that Elon Musk would have to be an interviewee because of what he did at Twitter. That really was a game changer. But anyway, I'm just warning you. Be looking for that.
It's funny. They loved Twitter and they loved electric cars, and now not so much.
Hey, I bought an electric car. I bought a Tesla a year and a half ago I haven't been to a gas station in a year and a half, so I got a
electric Audi. I just put in a 240 volt charging, fast charge station in the front, and to something that I always think about because I go on these long jags about why aren't we going to the inner city? Why aren't we recruiting young black guys to work in the trades, to teach them a skill, to teach them a trade? It's like now you either work you're either a music producer, which is a low percentage thing, or you're constantly just on welfare, or you get a job at LAX, standing somewhere for $17 an hour. How about you get a good skill going, And the guy who put this device in, the electrician who came out here, he came out, he works with his wife, Mexican guy. The Mexicans do all the work here. And he charged me, he came on a Saturday, worked the entire day, charged me $2,500. I figure maximum $500 worth of materials, like worth of flex and wire and maximum $500 worth of materials. That means he basically averaged $250 an hour, him and his wife. And I'm like, not too shabby. But he has a skill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has a skill. He's not standing at an airport. He has a skill, and he can do this. And if I paid him, $20 an hour or $25 an hour, then he would have got out of here with $250 instead of $2,500. So learn a skill.
Yeah.
And politicians, get these poor people and let's give them a skill. They're not going to college.
Well, this has been your issue for years.
I've yelled about it my whole life. And I used to yell about it when they do all these stupid Sheryl Crow, bring the music back to schools. I'd yell, bring the shop back. Where's shop? Don't worry about the music. Let's get these kids shop. Music is a luxury. Shop is a necessity.
Mother, can I just interrupt with one story? So in my course of getting ready for the movie, I interviewed all these people that knew Reagan and worked with him and everything. And one of the guys was Justice Anthony Kennedy, the Supreme Court Justice. And he said he was Reagan's lawyer in Sacramento. And he said one day, John Wayne, I think it was, and a couple of these old, Hollywood conservative actors came to lobby Reagan because Reagan was cutting funding for the arts for children in schools from 15 to 10 million bucks. So Kennedy said they all got in the room and said, Mr. President, the arts are very important. The children need the arts. And Reagan heard them all carefully and he said, you know what, fellas, you guys are right. I'm going to cut that to zero. We'll go raise it from the private sector, all 15 million. And Kennedy said it was the worst lobbying effort in the history of lobbying.
Nice.
They lost the 10 million because of their efforts. But that was his philosophy. Go raise it from the private sector. All you rich fat cats, get the money in here, not the taxpayers.
Speaking of trades, we have a vid. I was talking about what was going on and doing my vlog and what was going on in the Palisades and Malibu.
I saw that, yeah.
But I now have a new perspective physically on it. I drove up to Mescal Canyon and they put all the concrete pulverizer and, screenshots. But I want to show you guys, and we'll put it at adamcarolla.com, the scale and the scope of this thing as from the sort of street level. So I had my guys take a couple of shots, and they're screenshots of the vid we took because we traveled all the way up the canyon. And as we did it, we just passed the army that was going on. And the first shot is just the excavators. Excavators everywhere and metal baling rigs, and this is all up a canyon in the Palisades. There's a pile, you can see there's a pile of metal that is 20 feet high, and there's the baling machine, which literally crushes everything and bales it and then kicks it out the other side. And then that's all the recycled, all the pipes, all the tin roofs, all the everything. And they have a lane that just goes up the side of this thing, not open to the public, obviously, but I was with the Army Corps of Engineers. And where's the concrete pile? Oh, that's the concrete machine, I think. But show me the pile. There's a huge pile of just busted concrete and an excavator just going at it, piling it in, and then it goes into a pulverizer, and then it goes down 2 conveyor belts and makes a giant mountain of recycled concrete. I don't know if you have any of that. Do we have the recycled concrete in there? Wasn't there a pile? I think I saw it in the other room. There was a big pile of recycled concrete.
The recycled concrete we have in the drone. These are, and those 2 gentlemen right there, they're picking out pieces of metal from the conveyor belt that busted up the concrete, but they have a magnetic
conveyor belt that pulls the rebar out.
But every now and then something little gets through and they take it and throw it in the trash.
Okay. I don't know if you got the vid where you go up the street, go find it, because it's kind of interesting. We just drove past everything with the Army Corps of Engineers. So they are tearing that place apart. But man, listen, I grew up in this town. When I got out of high school, there were no jobs to be found because it's right when Reagan was taking over for Carter.
Right.
And the economy was junk.
Shambles.
Well, I mean, there's what people need to understand. When you buy a house, all you pay is interest at the beginning. That's all interest. And the difference between a $2 million house, the payment on a $2 million house out here at a low interest rate, I don't know, 2.6 or something like that, your payment is like $7,000 a month. At 7%, you're paying $16,000 a month. Same place, same price. The interest rate just went from 2.6 to 7%, and your payment just went from $7,000 to $16,000 a month. That's at 7%, and people are complaining about it. Now, when Reagan took office,
20%, it was at a high.
20%.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's like?
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How would anyone buy a house at 7%? It pretty much doubled plus. At 20%, you would be paying $37,000 versus $7,000 on 2.6% or whatever that was.
That's what gets you kicked out of office, 20% interest rates.
Yeah.
What people forget, too, is that we basically had 4 failed presidencies before Reagan, right? We had Johnson couldn't run. He was so unpopular. Nixon gets thrown out. Ford gets dumped. And then Carter. There were people, I remember I was like 12 years old, 14. There were people that were saying the presidency is too big for one person. Like we literally had those conversations.
Really?
Maybe we should have 2 people. One guy handles foreign policy. One guy handles domestic. There were smart people talking like that. We haven't had that conversation in 45 years. Even under Biden, if you didn't like Biden, you didn't say maybe we should have 2 presidents. Maybe
right.
we were with
No,
Joe.
but that's interesting.
But the very idea of the presidency was being questioned after 200 years. So, he comes in, and whether you like him or don't like him, he was a strong character who got rid of that argument or those series of discussions that were happening.
The shots, Andrew, are from the car, from the side, driving up the road, by the way, not the drone. All right, we got some news to get into.
We do. We absolutely do.
All right, do a quick break. Mark's going to hang out. We'll do some news with Mayhem right after that. Making Reagan is out as we speak with Megyn Kelly doing the forward as well. Rotten Tomatoes, you're going to tell us?
Well, I was just going to tell you guys that we've applied to Guinness World Book of Records for the official status as the greatest gap in the history of every movie ever made between critics and people who watch the movie at Rotten Tomatoes. It's 98% filmgoers, 18% critics. 80 points. The previous record was 65. Not that I keep track of these things.
No, I've been, listen, Dawson's been around long enough. You can remember 10 years ago me saying Rotten Tomatoes is broken. Yeah. It's broken. And you also remember all the assholes around me explaining that I was paranoid.
Yes.
And if I wanted a higher score, I needed to make a better movie. And I was like, it's no longer about the product. It's about how they feel about the subject or the filmmaker. And I told everyone that, and they told me well, they tell me what they tell me about everything. You don't know what you're talking about. And then I have to wait, and then they never apologize for being wrong. But it was 10 years ago. I was saying, listen, it's there. It depends who's making the film and or what the subject of the film is, and that weighs heavily into the review. Now, to be fair, in a weird way, at the beginning of Rotten Tomatoes being corrupted, which, by the way, who are you talking to? I've made 7 films. None of them have gotten to Sundance. I made films about the first black race car driver ever with Robert Redford, who's Sundance, from Butch and Sundance. I made a movie about Paul Newman, of Butch and Sundance, of Sundance Film Festival. There are 98% on Rotten Tomatoes all the way across the board, all rejected. I submitted my movie, The Hammer, and the guy said, we don't like Adam Carolla, so fuck off. So I'm not making this stuff up. It's what happens. And you guys live in some world where I'm supposed to make a movie that's better. The average score on a Sundance movie at Rotten Tomatoes is 51.5 or something. My average score is 87 or something. So what do you mean make a better product? This fix has been in for a long time. But here's what's happened now. Rotten Tomatoes, all of their film critics were, I would say what I say about Fauci, compromised. They went to college and went liberal arts. They became film critics. They're a self-selecting group of liberal people who cannot help but mix their politics with their profession, just like they can't do it when they work at Starbucks and they fucking yell at you to put your mask on or something like that. Like they can't stop themselves. So they did it. Now, the audience remained in the dark and sort of unmobilized for the first 5 years this thing went on, maybe 8 years, because Dawson, I've been complaining about this for 10 years now, and the audience just sort of went, I don't know what's going on. So the audience score didn't change.
Right.
The critic score dropped. Now the audience has caught on and went, fuck Snow White. So now it's the Hatfields and the McCoys. Yeah. You have the lowest, and look, I'm not saying I'm not saying Reagan's not a 98, but some of that is a pushback against what they're doing. So maybe if everything was as it was 20 years ago, maybe the audience would have been 86 or something. But there's a percentage of the audience that is actually fighting against those people.
Well,
now,
listen, a little breaking news. I just out of my own curiosity, I began to call around because I don't mind a 47, but 18 is a little low. You and I were 47 for No Safe Spaces. 47 is a good number. 18 is a little low. I found out I called 2 organizations who review movies. They're very religious organizations, but they're very legitimate, millions of viewers. They are not counted because of their organization's position on LGBT issues.
oh, right. So there you go. So they're out.
So you got Hank in his mom's basement in Cleveland is counted, and this group with millions of followers doesn't count. So.
Yeah, the other thing that'll fuck you up too, and I know you want to weigh in, Dustin, but listen, hold 1 second. The other thing they're going to have to fix is is it IMDb? Where's the other critic? What's the other?
There's ratings on IMDb.
Is it IMDb?
Yeah.
So I'll have something on IMDb, and it'll be 30% 10 stars and 22% 9 stars, but then it'll be 46% 0, because that's the haters, right? And the thing that's crazy, if you look at IMDb, I think it's IMDb, and you look at something I've done, and maybe I don't know, maybe it's Uppity or something, or maybe it's The Hammer or something like that. You can see the way it goes, like mostly 9s and 10s, and it all gets down. By the time you get down to 2s and 3s, it's like barely anybody. And then you get to 0, and now it jumps up past 10. So then they go, what's your score? 7.1. But it's not a 7.1. It's all the zeros offset the other thing. So somebody's going to have to figure this out.
That reminds me, Adam, Cinema Score? You get the A+, A- Cinema Score.
Yeah, look at this graph.
What the hell?
Yeah, there you go.
Look at this graph.
Just a troll.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
You know
so
what's going on
what
there.
I can't quite read it from here, but Dawson can. This is for Uppity.
Yeah. 20% they gave you a 1, and then 28% gave you a 10. So it's like either they.
But here's my whole point. When you get down, okay.
Those are protest votes.
Exactly,
I get it, but here's what I'm saying. It's 23.5% give it 10 out of 10.
Right.
And then it's 15% give it a 9, and 18 or 19% give it a 8. By the time you get down to 4%, to a 4, 0.7%, a 3, 0.4%, a 2, you give Uppity 2 stars or 2 out of 10, 0.1%, but then you get to 1 and you're 20%.
70% of people gave it at least a 7.
Right. So then you check the overall rating, and it's a 7.1, except for that's because we're 20% 0. So somebody's got to figure out a way to flush this out.
Yeah.
Back to Rotten Tomatoes, there's another interesting wrinkle here on movies that they know they're going to have to do positive reviews on, like Uppity, the Willie T. Ribs story. They'll just refuse to review it.
Yes,
so you will not get enough reviews. And 3 people have reviewed. 3 people have reviewed Uppity. They all said thumbs up. 97% of the audience loves it.
Right.
No Rotten Tomatoes score.
Right. The movie was on Netflix. The movie has made at least 15, top 10 sports, whatever,
like
African American lists. It's made every list. And it's been on Netflix, but it will not be reviewed because Dawson's right.
They have to say Adam Carolla did something good.
Right. And so they don't. So there's a way where they just don't say anything.
By the way, it's not just Carolla. In No Safe Spaces, you were okay. The problem was the other person.
Oh, Prager. Yeah, no. So anyone who's conservative.
I get an email from one of the distributors, and they said, he's my friend, so he was honest. The typical response in Hollywood is, it wasn't right for us. But he goes, we loved the movie. The problem was Dennis Prager. None of us in this company want to be associated with him. So sorry.
It's so weird. It's the weirdest, and it's the most congenial, friendly, jovial. First off, Dennis Prager's a lot nicer than I am. I think you know that. he's just a friendly guy. He's just a good dude. He just is conservative, and that's all. He's a good citizen. All right.
I mean,
hopefully this is coming to an end. I don't know. Well, they ruined their own brand because I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes anymore.
But in fairness, Adam, I get a little bit that the audience is very, very smart, and they know. And the converse is actually true. I get a little bit nervous. The New York Times reviewed Reagan, and they were kind of nice. That made me nervous because the fans are going to go, wait a minute. The New York Times likes this movie. There's something wrong with it. So
yeah,
they know.
I would listen. I would rather have a 0 than a 32 on Rotten Tomatoes. I just feel like if it's that low, you can just blame the haters. You know, the worst as a filmmaker, the worst score that I could probably, the scenario that would bother me the most would be like 21% from the critics and 19% from the people. That's the one that would fuck me up. That would fuck me up the most.
Then you know.
All right, you got some news there?
Got some news, exciting action on a women's basketball court. Yeah, a long-time basketball coach Jim Zullo has broken his silence after a viral video showing him pulling a player's ponytail after a tough loss in the state
Are these guys in high school? And I said, good. There'll be no more spitting in your face. And there never was. And then I thought, you know what? I grew up in a world where, you know, coaches pushed you over or smack. You know, get down in a 3-point stance. Get down. The guy looks in, he kicks your arm out, and you fall on your face. You're screwing up your stance, Carolla. You know what I mean? Like, I live in that world. Yeah. I'm fine with it. I get it. I get that the person, they tugged on the ponytail. By the way, has anyone seen black chicks at the airport? There's some ponytail tugging going on in 2024 when something gets canceled and they go.
How did we survive anyway? How did we Gen Xers survive? All the stuff we saw and went through. Ponytail is the least of our problems.
Yeah, this would have been a zero burger. I don't appreciate it, and I don't wish it was my daughter. But if somebody said, "Well, he tugged on your daughter's ponytail hard," I'd go, why? And if they said, because she spit in his face or called him an asshole or said she wasn't going to play hard or whatever it is, I'd go, oh, okay.
Well, she got fouled out and then got into it with the coach and cussed him out. He's 81 and is now out of a job.
She cussed the coach out?
Yeah, I guess he said that she jawed at him, but now he's doing the complete public apology, completely unacceptable.
Yeah, you can't pull on whatever. But listen, I don't know. See, it's a weird thing. It's like the Spanish soccer coach or president who's, you know, they try to give 3 years in jail for hugging and kissing and celebrating on the podium after the win. I'm like, is he a bad guy? Well, she felt bad. I know, but what did he do? What did he do? She feels like she was okay. That's not where I want to live. I want to know what happened before this.
I put a scene in Reagan of the 12-year-old Reagan. He's being bullied by some kid. The kid chases him home. He tries to get into his house. His mother knows what's going on. She closes the door and says, you go out and fight that bully.
Yeah.
What mother has done that since 1950 in this country?
Nobody.
Not one. Our mothers would have said, come in for milk and cookies. We'll call the school board. We'll get that kid out.
Well, you don't know my mama.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who won the fight, but the point is an 11-year-old kid was taught you go and confront your enemies, you don't run away from them. And our country is where it is because we don't have a lot of moms like that anymore.
This guy had a statement, I'm guessing, that says he deeply regrets his behavior. Yeah, I listen, he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But who gives a shit? Is what I'm saying. I don't care. And that appalls women when I say that. I go, I don't care. She's fine. And by the way, I want to know what she did. She could have fucked up badly. She could have cost him the game.
She did lose the game because she was the highest. She's the highest scorer on the team, and then she got fouled out of the game. Then when he confronted her about it, there was a back and forth, and he yanked her hair.
Okay. Is she okay? Is she in the hospital? Is she able to play again? Can she attend college? Can she ever go to Fantastic Sam's without breaking down into tears? Is she okay? And the answer is, yeah, she's fine. Okay. Then what are we talking about? I'm so fucking tired of everybody. First off, people get aborted every day. No one gives a shit. People get shot every day. No one gives a shit. In the inner cities, 14-year-olds shooting each other every day. There's people dying in car crashes. Look. the average kid gets more fucked up on a bird scooter than this guy. I don't know what happened to this girl. Nothing is the answer. So the guy's an idiot. So she learned. Okay, moving on. Who cares?
Yeah. Moving on to the second woman is strangled to death during an overnight visit at a California prison. Mule Creek Prison. A tragic and disturbing story where this woman was strangled to death during an overnight family visit at a state prison.
So it's a conjugal visit that's overnight.
Yeah, the guy who did it allegedly is somebody serving a quadruple life sentence.
We got to put that guy behind bars.
Yeah.
Do other countries have conjugal visits? Is this just an American thing?
No, they do, yeah.
I will say this. I will say this about the conjugal visit. Okay, couple things. I don't like it. Tex Watson of the Manson family had 4 kids from inside of prison.
Yeah.
He sired kids from in the joint after what he did. Okay, but I did hear from a prison guard once, and I just want you to know that I'm open to things. You know what I mean? And I will listen. I complain about Nithya Raman or AOC or whoever, Kamala Harris, but if they ever sat down and explained something and it made sense, I'd go, okay, yeah. Now, right now, you're telling me Toyota is at fault for their catalytic converters being stolen, and it doesn't make sense to me. But if you somebody walked me through the process and why it was, other than you're angry, well, then maybe I'd go along with you. And I had a prison guard say once, he goes, look, it sounds nuts, but it keeps the guys in check. Because if they know they got a conjugal visit coming up, they're on the fucking straight and narrow. And if they get out of hand, it's gone. So you tell them, you got a date with some pussy in 3 weeks, but you fucking start a riot in the cafeteria, no pussy for you.
Yeah.
That keeps guys sitting down
All right.
in their seat. And I go, okay, all right, it's a way to keep everyone kind of motivated and in line. I'll buy it. That makes sense.
If it works.
If it works. Well, he killed.
Yeah. 62-year-old Stephanie Diane Dowles was visiting her husband, David Brinson, a man serving 4 life sentences for a 1990s quadruple murder, which was found dead inside Mule Creek State Prison. Shocking part, this is the second woman in less than a year to be killed under similar circumstances during a family visit at the same facility.
If I was a prisoner there, I would give the biggest dude maintain conversation ever. Like, you fuckers keep killing your wives and I don't get any pussy.
Yeah.
You understand? They're going to shut this whole thing down because you guys can't stop from choking out your wives.
Yeah.
They were coming to visit you for a conjugal visit. Like, if there's ever a time where you should just say thank you and shut up, it'd be her making the 3-hour drive to the prison to have sex with your raggedy ass.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's not like she just crashed your Cadillac, or fouled out of a game. It's not like she did something egregious like fouling out of a junior high basketball game. She came over to fuck you. And for this, you kill her. Well, that's a fine how do you do?
I think we need to visit other prisons in other countries. I'm thinking about Japan, for instance. They don't mess around in Japan. You get arrested for pot. Remember Paul McCartney spent 10 days in a Japanese jail because he had some pot with him? There's no conjugal visits in Japan that I know.
I like any place where you get caned.
That's Singapore, right?
For like spitting
for
gum
chewing
out
gum,
on the sidewalk
right.
or stealing a poster in your hotel room or
Prison's
something.
supposed to be a little uncomfortable, right?
Also, real clean sidewalks over there where they do the caning, right?
Not much pot in Japan.
Right. It kind of works, and you can go, I don't like it, but you go, hey, listen, I walk around here, it looks like it's a shit show. So, I don't know. Can't argue with the results. All right, so now this guy's got a 5th life, whatever.
Yeah, it may be coming up on a 5th life sentence. He hasn't been arraigned yet.
He's there. I mean, somebody has to show up at that guy's cell, right? At like 8 a.m. and go like, all right, let's go now, get your things. And then he's got to be sitting there going, she's dead. And he's got the guard who shows up is going to go, really?
Well, actually, in the original story, it was explained that he said, hey, my wife passed out. And was kind of making not real about it. Was saying that then they investigated it and he
didn't want to get into trouble.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In other news, Luigi Mangione wants a laptop in jail while he awaits his trial in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO.
He needs a laptop. Can I say this? It is pretty much straight across the board the Venn diagram of the people that hate Elon Musk and love the guy who murdered a guy in the streets of Manhattan. They're the exact same people. They're all the same people. The people that hope that Elon Musk dies in his sleep for what he's doing and worship at the altar of the killer. They're the same people. Does that say something about those people? Can we learn that maybe
I think it's fascinating.
Something is off in the moral department for those
But
people.
I've seen crossover of people who are more conservative who kind of allowed this guy only because they've dealt with the healthcare system and been denied for simple things and
no one is happy the guy's dead. No one conservatives aren't happy he was assassinated. They're not sending him their panties to the prison.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. They're not cheering when the guy's name comes up on a late night show or something. It's the same people who think Elon's a criminal and think this guy is a folk hero.
But the Elon thing is switched so quickly because for so many years he was the hero to one political side. Then all of a sudden it's give back your Teslas, we're going to boycott. It happens so fast.
Yeah.
You can't.
3 days.
People aren't allowed to grow or change their opinions or anything. They turn on you. That's what I think is so interesting there. I've never hated him or loved. I mean, I respect him all along.
Well, the hardest they go is the ones they used to like or the ones who should be there, like black females. When black females go Republican, they go nuts on them. Or gay. Whenever one of their special groups goes to the other side, that's who gets it the hardest.
Right. Even the Joe Rogan types. I mean, you've experienced that to some extent over your career, haven't you?
Yeah, but I was always a douche. I was never looked up to by any group. I was always considered, just a doofus from the Man Show. So I didn't really, the worst is the sort of fall from grace. You know what I mean? I was always blue collar construction boxing coach who just said shit that was super unpopular into the radio all the time. And so they were always arguing with me. I never really,
transitioned smooth into keeping the argument.
Well, I didn't transition at all. I just did that. I've been saying the same. I've said the exact same thing for 30 years into a microphone. I haven't altered any opinions.
Right.
They all just went batshit crazy.
Right.
And that's what they did. So it's hard for them to do the what happened to me thing because for me, there's recorded history. There's 30 years of nightly saying every single thing on both sides. It's like, I was talking to Dr. Drew about this. Oh, Bill Maher's talking about too much regulation in the building codes. Jesus Christ, who's been talking about regulation and building codes for 30 fucking years into a microphone?
Right.
So now I live in a world where me and Bill Maher are completely simpatico on over-regulation and burdensome regulation from the government as it pertains to building codes. Yeah. I walked right off a construction site and into a radio studio and started screaming about building codes in Los Angeles, and everyone just looked at me like, I don't fucking know, what the fuck's this guy talking about? That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think we grew up in a generation where, if you remember when Prop 13 passed?
Yes.
1978, I was in the 4th grade. My liberal teachers said all hell is going to break loose if this passes. You will not come to school next year, whatever. I come back to school in the fall. The only difference I noticed were no free pencils and no free paper anymore. I had to bring my own pencils and paper. Now, on the other side, the right went crazy over the left. Remember we had smog? We couldn't go out to recess because it was so smoggy.
Smog alerts.
Right. The right said, if you do this, if you regulate this, all hell's going to break loose. It didn't break loose. The air was clean. So we've seen both sides yell and scream their ideological stuff, but the truth is somewhere in the middle. In both cases, our lives were better because Prop 13 passed and we cleaned up whatever the smog was at the time.
Yeah, they always Well, this commercial, I miss all the political commercials where the good-looking wife is sitting there reading the paper at the breakfast table, and the guy walks in and wants to talk about breakfast, and she's like, have you read the details of Prop 27? I'm like, who is this woman? I've never met this woman in my life. She's reading all the small print from the prop. And I used to, there was a commercial once where the commercial was for a prop that was going to add 20 cents to a pack of cigarettes. And it was a white guy. I like any movie or any commercial where a white guy's a gangbanger. Yeah. I'm already in. It's a good-looking white guy, but they tell him, don't shave for like 2 days. It'll make you look like a gangbanger, you know? And he's clearly just a good-looking actor guy who hasn't shaved for 2 days. And he's talking, and he goes, prop, whatever passes, it's going to add 20 cents to the pack of cigarettes. But me and my gang members will go to Nevada, and we'll buy the cigarettes where there's no tax, and we'll bring them back here, and we'll just sell them on the street. Like someone's walking to a 7-Eleven, and the guy go, hey, what are you buying? Cigarettes? Come to my primered van in this alley. Like, I think I can save you 25 cents, you know? And then at the end, he goes, and with that money, we can buy a lot of these. And he pulls his shirt up, and there's a gun stuffed in his waistband. And I thought, this is where we're going? If you tack on 20 cents to a pack of cigarettes, this is what's going to happen. And then it passes, and it never happened. Has anyone ever been to a 7-Eleven in Southern California and had some gangbanger say, oh, what are you buying? Cigarettes? Yeah, come over this way. I can give you a break. I've just got back from Loveline. I can sell you some of this. Yeah. No, but it's always great. The promise, the doom and the gloom. And now we got the end of our democracy, right? Because you elect Trump, and then our democracy ends.
Well, we may need Doge California.
Oh, my God.
Imagine what they would uncover if Doge comes to California.
All right, let's do one more.
Yeah, one last story. UFC champ Cain Velasquez is off to prison for 5 years for shooting at a man accused of molesting his son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's but shocking and heartbreaking. UFC champ Cain Velasquez has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for a 2022 shooting incident that made national headlines. He got into a high-speed chase, opening a fire on a vehicle carrying Harry Goularte, a man accused of molesting Cain Velasquez's 4-year-old son hundreds of times.
Oh, it's his son?
Yes.
Hundreds of times.
That's what's going on. And he is still out on bail and attempting to fight his case. Cain pleaded no contest to attempted murder and multiple gun charges. Prosecutors called it a vigilante shooting spree.
He just fired into the back of the guy's truck, right?
Yeah, and he actually hit the guy's dad.
Yeah.
So, he wounded him, man.
Yeah. But the dad of the serial pedophile doesn't fall too far from the tree. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, look, I don't know what you did with this boy, but
I know.
You didn't sit around and watch Davy and Goliath with this kid, and then it was off.
I know.
Something he did.
Something going on.
Somebody's egg got scrambled when they were a kid. Like,
what is that? There's something in there.
when you think it's a good idea to do this, usually somebody did it to you. Is what?
Yeah. And the guy has that pedo face a bit. You know what I mean? It's.
I have resting pedo face, but that's just as God created me. It has nothing to do with ideology or what's going on with my face. Mark's got a little resting pedo face too, but it's not his fault.
Well, I think that dads are the key to when the dad isn't around. I'm telling you.
Oh man,
we dads have antennas, and sometimes moms miss the cues, and we dads can spot crazy people. We keep them far away from our kids.
Yeah, got to have the dad in the picture. And listen.
But there's a lot of people who talk about cheering a vigilante. So many Twitter is just overwhelming with Cain Velasquez, free Cain. Everybody is very like, what? Give him a medal. And I get it. Like, if somebody does, even allegedly, done that to your son.
No, listen, this is one of those things where you go, look, this guy's dad, he's being a dad, and his kid was molested, and allegedly, I guess, and whatever. I get all that. I get the part where you're not allowed to drive down city streets and fire a gun out the window of your car at a guy in front of you who may or may not have molested your son and then hit his dad and or hit a kid who's walking down the sidewalk. Like, bullets go, they pass things, they hit other things, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, it's not the Wild West. Like, you're not allowed to chase a guy down the street and unload a clip into the back of his car. So, you know, it's nuanced, and my thing is like the pedo guy deserves 1,000 years in prison, and Kane deserves 2 years in prison for this, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Do you know Kane?
Yeah, I wrestled with him a bit up in San Jose. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's it's an unfortunate situation. I have empathy for him, but he'll do that 2 years standing on his head. He's fine. He's tough.
He got 5 years. How long's he doing?
He'll do like 2.5, maybe. I don't know. It depends. He already has credit for 9 months. And so depending on how they chip away at that, he could get 33% because he's first time conviction.
I don't know if they let you do this, but I'd like to get some credit for prison. You know what I mean? In case something goes wrong later. You know what I mean?
Do weekends in jail and get your double time?
No, don't be stupid. I was thinking, though, between the ages of like 18 and 22, I wasn't really up to much.
Just kick it.
That's just every other month, go to prison. By the time I turned 23, I got 2 years under my belt.
What do you do if you don't use it up? You just give it to your kid?
You will it. I could will it to it. It has to be blood. Let's not be stupid. I can't just sell it on eBay, you know what I mean, to a criminal. But then my kid gets his third DUI, and this time somebody got hurt, you know what I mean? And so
you got pretty good kids. They're not going to use that up, I don't think.
It doesn't have to be a DUI. It could be, any form of manslaughter, roommates getting on their nerves or whatever. People drink, stuff happens, is what I'm saying. I would then give them those 2 years, I would bequeath them. I like when people do this. I like when people go total false equivalency. They go, I got a Paul Newman race car. Yeah. When I die, who's that go to? Your kid? Okay. And then they do that one, and you go, no, I'm still not there yet. But yeah, I between the ages of 18 and 22, I could have done month in, month out, and got 2 years under my belt. And I could have learned welding or a second language or something. It would have been a lateral move from sleeping on a futon with a dude in North Hollywood in a place with no air conditioning,
We have the scene in the film in No Safe Spaces. You were turned down for the fire department during that time.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Right? And then 7 years later.
Years later, I got the notice to try out for the fire department.
Because you were the wrong gender, the wrong color, the wrong everything.
Yeah, the guy who took my application just kind of went, don't even bother. Don't even expect. Like, if you think you're heading home and going to get a letter from the LA Fire Department in the next, work week or something, it's like, he's just like, don't even. You better go get another job. Is what he
There's Adam Carolla's white privilege right there.
Kicking in. Always kicking in. All right, Mayhem. You've sent it all. Mark Joseph, everyone.